Okay, just for the fun of it, let's put those mods back in and see what happens. Um, One of the things, yeah, because I just got home from work, but one of the things I didn't really get to show you yesterday is when you take a look at when I removed DTF. Let's see if it's in here. Let's see. Okay, so when I removed DTF, which is right here, it'll be right above this marker. Um, I don't believe from that point, from that point forward, I did not get another crash when shooting something. And like I say, I believe it's because it either has to apply a single effect that the game looks at or hooks into to determine, like if an NPC is hit, what is the source of the what type of hit was it? Melee, whether it's energy weapon, ballistics, and to be able to back reference data. Where did it come from? Which NPC shot which NPC? What type of ballistic was it? Things like that. So, and I think it was better locational damage, and those little floating damage numbers, that and direct hit and DTF, they all either share the same hook point or they share a certain data structure, so they kind of clash. I had taken better locational damage out because I thought maybe that might be the problem. I'm getting ready to put that back in. I have Scourge over here, but it is not activated. Is it? Yeah, I've got it over here, but see, it's not activated. I believe it is installed. It'll let me know. One of the functions, it'll let me know if it's not installed when I activate it and then launch the game. Um, but up here, I've got, see these right here? It was so weird because I would activate these, and even Ivy, like I've got Companion Ivy in the game, and I've used that mod forever. I mean, gosh, you could go back to load orders, oh man, way back. Like, if you take a look at some of the saves, some of these load orders, because these are based on load orders here. See, these are the names of the characters. So these are based on load orders, and they go way back. Um, I don't know. It should have a date on the file, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, see, this goes all the way back to 419. And I'm pretty sure Ivy's going to be in here. We'll take a look at required plugins. Alright, let's see. She should be. Yeah. So, see, she's been in here for a while, and I've never received those buffer overruns, like, as bad as what it was. Like, I've never received that. And I think that had to do with I had too many mods that was adding player comments, perhaps. Maybe it was the game engine hit some really wonky crash, or not crash, but conflict, and it then triggered other code to execute that wouldn't normally execute, or maybe a script got caught in a loop. I mean, it could be just the way a script is coded doesn't take something into consideration. So, like I didn't have any problem, and I'm pretty sure. Um, oh my gosh, what is it? Somber Mountain, SOMBRE. See, these are in here just fine. These were let's see, yeah. Okay, that's fine because it's cool. Um, it's basically telling me that in my current load order, these are not active. In case I decide to actually try to load this old game up, it's going to tell me what's missing and what is not active, or what might be out of sequence. But it's right up here. So see, these were in here just fine. I never encountered a single problem. So, and then all of a sudden, it's like the whole load order magically became unstable. So I went in and I rearranged it. I had to put some real quick code in here to categorize things, which now is better because there's more than 255 plugins in here. Um, you can see these are normal plugins. It's like what, 217, 392 are of those are there's 392 light plugins, I think if I if I can remember that correctly. But now I can select a section, like let's say this section, and I can generate a patch, FO4 edit patch just for this section of mods. So each one where there's a conflict, I can generate these little sub patches. At which I can't really, because FO4 edit doesn't take into consideration what mods are currently needed to make the patch. It looks like it takes into consideration how many mods you got active, and after a certain amount it just won't use them. It doesn't matter, like you could have like 500 plugins, but it doesn't say, wow, I'm trying to make a patch for these 500 plugins, but that patch is only going to involve 3 plugins. It doesn't care because it has to scan all 500. Therefore, it says, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make this patch because it has more than 255 plugins, which was the old limit before Lite came out. So I did this so I can literally do it by section. So let's try this. This is going to be like a first time kind of a try. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna tick these off. They should be already in the let's take a look at, let's find the mod here. Alright, it's the Wilderness, so let's just do a check install. Yeah, it's installed. Everything is there. So we should be good to go. Let's save the load order and let's fire it off and see what we have. Okay, yep, I know the load order changed because I added those mods in. They're now active, so now the load order is different. And I needed to do that because sometimes I will accidentally click or unclick something if I'm not paying attention. And then I'll run the game and then I'm like, okay, this, you know, in my mind, nothing changed, but now this thing is not doing what I thought it should do or some kind of weird stuff, or it pops up and says mod is removed, and then I'll have to fix it. So let's see if this even, I can get a game to load. And this takes a minute because this is reshade. And I can't, I know I got a lot of errors at this point before the game would even load. Like it crashed out here with like buffer overflow. Alright, so now here's, we're going to see if we're going to get a buffer overflow. So remember, we added those mods back, added those mods in. So let's pull the latest one and let's see if we can bring it up. And if we can, okay, there. So there's still something in there.
You have died.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so let's go take a look. Let's let this come up and let's see what the error is we got. Okay. Alright, let's bring this puppy up. See? Check this out. It's the same thing. Buffout did not give me a complete log. So when it loaded the game, somehow it hit some weird problem with those, and Buffout does not like it. It simply doesn't like it. And you can tell the last thing I did here was I added these 3 mods in the load order. So we'll take them out. Which one was it? It was farmlands, marshlands, and forest. So the sewers is in there, and the mole rat tunnels is in there. I wonder if I didn't even try Somber Mountain. So let's try putting in Somber Mountain in the rooftops, and let's see what happens. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got. Now remember, those worked fine before, but somehow in my current load order there is something it doesn't like. Now, it's not a new game. I tested it before with a new game and with an existing game, and it still choked. So it's getting a buffer overrun, and I'm not sure how those mods are causing it. Somehow there's got to be, I'm thinking that a script somewhere has gotten changed, and it's either overriding a script or Okay, let's see if this even works. Well, we made it this far. Let me turn this down. This is actually way too loud. There. Let's get this turned down just a bit. Okay. See, those Zorkaz mods seem to load just fine. So that one seems to be okay. So I should be able to isolate it down to the one that's causing a problem and then see what the issue might be. Because you can see Ivy's in there. She's doing just fine. So, of course, that's going to change my time before error metric, but that's okay. So I'm going to leave this here. Let me save this, and I'm going to leave this here. And let's back out real quick, and I'll show you the game save stuff. So this was, like I say, better locational damage was giving me some kind of weird thing. Like, I don't know. I took it out because it seemed to have I think I got crashes, bad reference crashes from weapons or something, armor, something. It was attached to something. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this game save. I've got Resaver linked into it, so it basically links the file to Resaver, so that way I can bring it up easily. And you see, notice 4 script instances that are not attached to anything. So if you notice, see where I have suspended stacks? They're all KTF. So that's that Keteros framework. And it's got these things, they're suspended. So they're waiting on something to complete. And if you go up here and take a look, if you filter and show unattached instances, there's a KTF. So I'm thinking that the suspended stacks, input layer, I always have this. I'm not sure what this is. Not sure about this. But I'm pretty sure if I remove this, I'm almost 100% positive the game save is going to crash when I load it, because I still have all of these. Let me get these active scripts here. I still have these. So I think the KDF script got orphaned. There were other KDFs attached to that, perhaps, or maybe these are attached to objects that are no longer there, perhaps. Because I think this popped up when I was adding or removing mods. So that is a possibility. But I wanted to show you where that 401 was coming from. And you can see when I added the mods back in, I think I got the same thing. Let me move the mic here. Yes, it was an, let's see, where is it? Down on the very bottom. Yeah, see stack overrun. You can clearly see that. So there's something in one of those scripts. These are his older scripts. I know the Forest, he's updated a lot of these. Like, he's actually went into update. Now, I did update these. So when he updated them, I updated them. So maybe something in his newer update caused a problem. And maybe an older version will work. I will know if I can isolate it down to which one of those specific mods it is. Because I did add the rooftops in Somber Mountain, and it seems to be okay. Now, the rooftops, I think, has some previs. Roth. I can't even spell. Okay, there's only one instance, so I don't really see any previs for that. But let's see if Somber Mountain has one. Maybe it's ER. Let's see. I was thinking I had some previs down here for Somber Mountain, but maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't really see it. I'd have to take a look. See, there's the Wilderness. Okay, so I don't see that. So I'll take a look. I have to go on the Nexus and see if there's any Somber Mountain stuff. But that's what I wanted to show you. That, see, I by adding those mods back in, which work just fine, I actually have a buffer overrun. And if I look at this manifest here, if I take a look at let's see. See, I installed. Here's a re-upload of it. Let's find the next occurrence. So, see, here's a new version. Here's another version. Well, actually, this where it says superseded. I went in to delete some of the older versions, but you can see the older versions that I deleted. And this is where I was actually testing the deleting function. So you can delete by manifest, or you can just flat out delete whatever the files are. But so this is there's where I reinstalled it to make sure the manifest had it. See, and then here's where the ESM changed, maybe? No, this is where I actually changed the plugin. So that one's in there. All right, so what was one of the other ones here? Let's go up here and take a look. All right, I got to take this call, and I will finish this video here in just a bit.